What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rally Point. We have a great show for you guys tonight. Somebody you guys have not heard from. One face that's familiar to you guys if you have watched the interviews. If you are new to the channel, the Rally Point is someplace where we come back on Sunday night, every Sunday night at 9 p.m. We talk about the interviews. It's just a place for combat veterans, family members, anybody wanting to listen to us talk about our experiences. You know, oftentimes, a lot of veterans don't think that they have anybody to talk to. And I think that that is what happens when we talk about the 22 a day, right? We're going to get into that. We had a giant weekend. You know, I've been working on this channel since, August? I know you guys in the chat have been here since day one. So a special shout out to you guys. The first engineer, 72nd, all the way. A lot of the interviews, all except for one, I believe, has been with the 72nd. I'm looking to expand to more. Because I believe in what we're doing. We have that coming up. We also have a nonprofit that's very special to a couple guys in our unit that I want to showcase tonight. So let's get started with the show, guys. That intro still gets me. I absolutely love that intro. Do me a favor before we get started, guys. Go ahead and share the stream. We are trying to get this out to as many people as we possibly can. I really think that we can make a difference. Hartman. This weekend was giant. I can't thank you guys enough for sharing all your stories, but not only sharing those stories, commenting on them, sharing them on Facebook, always showing up for this channel. I really believe that we can make a difference. You know, you looked in the comment section of Carton's video and Perkins. Perkins' video is going crazy right now too. It's last time I checked, I think it was at 130 some thousand likes. Our views. Carton's was at 1.3 million views. I'm blessed. We are blessed because our stories are getting heard. This isn't about me hosting a show. This is about the stories of everyday combat veterans getting heard. So many times we have seen podcasts about special ops and cool missions and stuff like that. And that's awesome. I'm a big fan of the Sean Ryan show. Love it. But what was missing was the stories of everyday combat. Those guys that went, and women that went out on missions every single day, risked their lives every single day, got blown up, got into firefights. This was every day. If you're on the civilian side and those words being blown up kind of gives you the chills, and like, how can people live through that? Or how can you laugh through a firefight? We're going to talk about that today. We're going to sit back and talk and let you understand the mindset that we had over there, going through these firefights and getting hit by IEDs and why people say that they miss them. The other thing that we're going to go over tonight is somebody else's perspective. I'm not going to share who that is just yet. I'm going to let him get on here in a second. But before we do, every Sunday, I highlight a nonprofit that helps veterans. We have done, I don't even know how many shows at this point. I think that these nonprofits need more spotlight. And if I can be the vessel on this show to get their names out there, I am all for it because they are helping us. So, the very first time that I heard about this was with if you guys know Crouch, he has done an interview with us. Crouch is one of my best friends. Love that guy to death. And I know he's in the chat right now. Crouch, this is something that is awesome. Citadel Land and Livestock, led by Jason and his wife Christine, founded Barnside Brotherhood, a veteran-operated nonprofit dedicated to helping combat wounded veterans heal through equine therapy. I am so terrible at reading. Based in southern Louisiana. Citadel family is purpose-driven and committed to serving those who have served our nation. You know, Crouch has been doing this, and you know, Crouch has talked about his dealing with PTSD and finding faith, stuff like that. This is another outlet for him. I talked to him last night, and he absolutely loves it. He said, no matter what's going on in his day, all he has to do is focus on the horses. And he's been doing great with it. Now, yesterday, while our videos were blowing up, on the left there was Crouch. On the right was John Macaluso and his wife, Casey. They got to spend some time out there last night while the videos were going crazy. They had an amazing time. Macaluso's getting old, so his back said it was hurting. But he said he had a great time. And I am all for helping out nonprofits. Again, that's Barnside Brotherhood in southern Louisiana. So, tonight I'm going to bring on two guests. One is one that you guys are going to know. The other one, somebody you're not going to know. But I think his story needs to be heard because it's a different perspective. On the bottom there is that ugly mug, John Macaluso. And on the top is who I think both me and Macaluso are super excited about. This is Caleb Lyon. If you guys know anything about what we've been doing, his dad, Chris Lyon, has been on this show multiple times, done an interview. I've been trying to find a place for Caleb to get on here because his dad's been on me like, Caleb wants to share this. I think this is going to be a neat perspective because so many times we have our perspectives and so many people hear the veterans' perspective, but we never hear how it affects our kids and our family. This is kind of cool though, because Macaluso's wife, Casey, was actually on the rally point, 4 weeks ago, Mac?
Yeah, I think, about a month. Yeah.
Let me see something here. Are you guys getting an echo by any chance? Type down in the chat if you're getting an echo when Macaluso talks. The only reason why is because I don't have my headphones in. Let me know. You are getting an echo? Okay, let me put my headphones in. There we go. That should be a lot better. Caleb, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Oh, just doing great. A little tired, needless to say, but doing good.
Good. How about you, Mac? How we doing tonight, buddy?
Doing good. Got my coffee. I'm good to go.
There we go. So, first off, thank you both for being on the show tonight. The first thing I want to talk about is what I looked down in the comment section of all these videos, and it was nothing but combat veterans talking about what it was like being blown up and what it was like being in a firefight. And I had a friend, and she has been like a sister to me since I was, I don't know, high school, I believe, and she's in here as well. She always asked me, she was like, I don't know how you did it. I have no clue. And it was like, I don't know how to explain it. Macaluso, you have been through firefights. You have been through, an IED. Tell me what that is like. Tell that first explosion. What did you feel? And then I'm going to share my thoughts on it, because I got hit by 10 of them, and each time was a little bit different. And just so you know, the first thing I checked was not my junk. But what was it like for you, man? I want to hear about what it was like for you.
Well, my first time in Iraq, it was 2004 to 2005, and I was in northern Iraq, right at the tip of the Sunni Triangle, maybe like 20 minutes from where they found actually Saddam in the hole. So it was pretty hot up there. So we used to run our own support missions. We needed parts. We go get the parts so we could fix the Palatins and the howitzers, and because I was on a division artillery base, so we had all the artillery for like almost northern Iraq all on our post. So we were doing this one of our missions, and they had this this car that kept following us, and I'm like, that's not right. So, and at the point I was driving an up armored 5-ton, and I was like, it kept swerving, kept slowing down in and out of our convoy. We gave him warning shots, wouldn't stop. Then he exploded the car, and my asshole puckered. And yes, I did check and see if my jump was there. That's the first thing I did. Yes. Then I looked over and I'm like, I checked my TC. He was good, but all we had in the back was parts. So I wasn't worried about the parts. And then here comes Abrams right next to me, and all the people that it's like a little outpost close to it, and it was supposed to be, they were trying to ambush us. So, and then that tank took out the little building, and we just kept going. We didn't even stop. We just kept going. But my first VBIB IED, yes, it was butt puckering experience.
Man, it was like, our jobs were a little bit different, Mac. You were out on a lot of missions with us, a lot. One of the things that because the very first time that I was hit was the very first time that I went outside the gate, right? And then the second, bro, it was awful. I thought that they were gunning for me. I swear to God, I did. We were going down through Predator, which is downtown Bakuba, if nobody know, for those new viewers out there, which is, oh my God. And a rocket hit I was in an RG, and a rocket hit the RG. And I just remember a loud noise, right? That one wasn't so bad. I think it was like okay, I got hit. Is that all they have? You know what I mean? Like, is that what everybody... Buddy, let me tell you something. That second one was where it smashed through the window and only left about a panel of glass next to my head.
Yeah.
And I had my iPro on, and if you guys got iPro back in 06 and 07, they had the interchangeable lenses. Do you remember those?
Well, I wore glasses then, so
okay.
I didn't get the Oakleys, but yeah, you could do the clear ones or the dark ones for sun.
Yeah, the pressure was so bad that it popped my lens out of the Oakleys.
Wow.
And I remember and this was my first time. I think this is maybe the first or second time that I shared this. You're gonna have to hear me because my headphones died again. But I got hit and Buck was right next to me. And the very first thing Buck did was look at me because I was actually happy. And the reason why I was happy was because about a year before that, I had lost my cousin in Iraq. And that's the reason why I joined the army, was to find IEDs, right? I got hit, and instantly I knew that he didn't suffer because of how fast it happened. And then I remembered the smell. If you've ever gotten hit by an IED, you remember that smell. Yeah. And it was something else, man.
Like the V-bib, it literally, I couldn't even get my sentence out. I knew what he was going to do, but thank God I was in an up armored 5-ton, and if I would have been in a soft 5-ton, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, those up armored vehicles were what saved us, I believe, because had we had gotten hit when we were in a Humvee, it would have been a totally different story.
Oh yeah.
You know, Caleb, I'm gonna bring you in on this because, you know, hearing some of these stories that we're sharing and stuff, because your dad said that you've been watching the videos and stuff, which thank you, because that not only does it mean a lot to me, but I know every single one of these people that are doing interviews appreciates people listening to them. So thank you for listening. But what have you thought about some of the stories of just the 06 and 07? His dad got deployed 6 times. He's been to Iraq, Afghanistan. Hell, this guy's been to Ukraine. I mean, he's been all over the place. Right. What have you thought about some of the stories that your dad shared on his interview and some of the guys that are sharing their stuff now?
I mean, I think it's just crazy because I couldn't imagine like what my reaction would be. I mean, I think it's just mind blowing, and I'm just speechless about all of it, and I do really love hearing about all of them, and I appreciate that he opens up to me to tell me about them. And recently, I would say like the past year, I've actually watched some military movies, and honestly, like all these video clips and all the stories, like they have nothing to do with the movies. Like those movies, it makes it look like it was AI essentially. And it's just mind-boggling that all of this happens, and I don't think I could do what he did. I really don't. I mean, I already have enough issues myself, you know, with my body and stuff, but I could not imagine to be in his shoes and to what he had to go through. I don't think I could do it. Not a chance.
You know what's crazy about that is that's the exact same thing that I thought. I was like, there is no way in hell you're going to blow me up and then you're going to shoot at me. I know, Mac, you were probably the same way. Had somebody that told you that you were going to get hit by an exploding car, okay? I mean, think about that for a second. I would have never thought, I'd been like, no. How am I going to live through that, right?
Yeah.
But it's good getting an experience or somebody else's perspective that's outside of our group that your dad served. I mean, that this is going to be cool. Just hearing what you have to say. You know, Mac, I got another question for you, because this one, I know for a fact you got a lot of experience with this one.
Uh-oh.
I almost said something I shouldn't have. But, what is a firefight like? What is going through your head? What's the nerves in it? Why do you think? Because the number one comment that I seen, because I went down through all the shares of Carton's video, and if nobody knows, Cahill had the same first clip in there.
Yeah.
And his went crazy on YouTube as well. But you hear laughing in the background. You hear, and I am almost 100%, and I know voices because that was my squad. I'm almost certain that was McCoon in that vehicle. I may be wrong, but I think McCoon was laughing real.
I think that was the McCoon cackle.
Yeah. Why do you think we laugh during it? What's going through your mind?
Well, a lot of a firefight is psychological because, first of all, yeah, it's scary to get into a firefight, but you also have to have the balls to pull that trigger because when I gunned for Lion and I gunned for Sergeant Hartman, it was us. You ain't gonna touch me, and you're not gonna touch my guys in the truck. So I was their protector. Lion drove, Sergeant Hartman pointed things out. So it was my whole point of view of it is if you're up there gunning, you have to have the guts and the balls to fire back. If not, if you hesitate, your whole truck could be gone. Anybody could come up to you and just pop you. You got to have a reaction that is faster than them. And sometimes you got to have a short memory. It's my whole thing when I was gunning was, if you shoot at me, I don't care who you are, I'm laying you down. Because you're not going to take me out of this world. Oh, only Jesus is going to take me out of this world. So I was like, bring it on. Like, I absolutely love firefights. It's the adrenaline. And when you pop that rip it before and after, it's just, come on, let's go. Hey, Tim, sorry to cut you off. They're saying they can't hear. No audio.
Is that better? How about now, guys? Can you hear me now? Okay, there we go. Sorry. So I'll start over again. My bad. If you first of all, if you guys know this channel, I have problems with audio all the time. I am so sorry. But the Rippets were like our energy drink of choice out there. We had those everywhere we went, and we loaded our pockets up with them. But the firefights that we got into, and I would say 80% of time I was driving down through Bakuba, but there were times that we would get into firefights and I would be a gunner. And it's the adrenaline that makes you laugh. It's the adrenaline that gets you through it, because I don't care what anybody says, you're scared. But you know for a fact that convoy depends on you. Because if I'm so scared I'm going to sit my ass down and not be able to shoot back, it risks everybody else's life. So when we say that we have your six, we truly mean that. And it comes out in those times where you're in those firefights and you have no other choice. So that's that adrenaline coming out. The laughing that you're hearing in these videos. They're having fun. Don't get me wrong. They're having fun. But it's the adrenaline coming out as well. So it's that laugh.
Yeah, I think it's either they're gonna laugh or they're gonna cry. Not because they're scared crying, because it's the adrenaline. Some people cry, some people laugh. Most of us laughed. I mean, it's just it is what it is. You know, it's like I said, I wouldn't back down from a firefight. I love firefights, but it probably Lyon and probably Hartman probably thought I was absolutely crazy because I would laugh the entire time. Just like that guy in what was that Vietnam movie? Full Metal Jacket. Get some. Yeah, that'd be me up there at the 50 cal or the 240. Get some.
Dude, I remember McCoon with his shotgun.
Oh God.
Shooting down alleyways in a firefight. And I'm like, McCoon, that's not what the shotgun, you're not going to hit anything. He was just going off with that shotgun and the 50 cal, switching back and forth and laughing the entire time and just having a ball.
You know what my first mission ever with y'all was? It was with Sarn Lowry, Berthette driving, McCoon on the 50 cal, and I was just like a fourth rider in a Humvee. So I don't know why we're out in a Humvee, but we were. So we were going down Predator, and then we started taking sniper fire, of course. So, you know, McCoon's up there screaming, returning fire, you know, laughing. We're all laughing. And then there's like a 50 cal, a Dushka round that hits my window. But if I would have had that window down, I'd have been the first within a month of us being there.
You know, that's another thing, man. You know, we lost Sergeant Wright over there, and that was an awful day, and it affected every single one of us. And if you are a veteran that's lost somebody in combat, it hits a little bit different. It does. And then we had a guy, and he's actually on one of the videos too, on one of the interviews, Leonard, that lost both of his legs. And, you know, with all of the contact that we've faced over in Iraq, we're fortunate that that's all we took, if that sounds right, because it could have been a lot worse. A lot more people, I should say, because
you're right, but that also can show you how well built those vehicles were. Those RG-31s could take a hit and keep rolling. I mean, they were monsters out there. I will say that.
Yeah, it saved my life. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
Mac, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move to Caleb real quick. You know, oftentimes, it doesn't get talked about enough. It doesn't get talked about how it affects a family member. Doesn't get talked about the relationships at home, how combat changes that. I think it's really important to get this point of view because, like I said, Matt Galuso's wife, Casey, was on here, and it was amazing, even for me, sit back and listen to what she had to say. You know, Caleb, your dad said you were, 2 months old when he got deployed 06, 07. But you've seen multiple deployments.
Right.
How How did you deal with those deployments? Because as a parent now, I don't know how I would leave my kid. So Lion having to go and leave you guys behind was hard on him. I know it was, being a parent. How did it make you feel, man?
Obviously, it was very devastating, as any kid would be. If their father or mother, regardless of what the situation is, just randomly just leaving for like 6 to 9 months. So it was very hard. I would say when I was young, I think it was harder when I was younger, because there was just countless nights I just could not sleep because I didn't know if he was in a truck or in the plane, or I don't know what he was doing. And I would say when I was older, I think it was still rough, but it was a little bit easier to get a hold of him because I'm sure you guys know we used WhatsApp, and that was like the only way that we could even get a hold of him. And then every now and then we could like a Zoom call. I don't know what it was back in the day with the little video camera on top of the computer. Which they didn't work with the shit anyways, but it's the thought that counts. But yeah, it was very upsetting in my younger years because I was just a little boy. I didn't understand, and I still have it to this day. I don't know where it is. I actually have. I'm sure you got the daddy doll. There's a daddy doll and had like a little face on it, and then you actually slide a picture of I had a picture of him. I think in his blues or greens, and it was a picture of him when he that wasn't there, but there was a picture of him inside of the doll, and I couldn't tell you how many nights I slept with that because it made me feel comfortable that he was with me even though he wasn't. And like I said, I didn't know what he was doing. He could have been a truck getting blown up and shot at, or he could have been an airplane and there could have been fire there. So, when I was a little boy, I didn't understand what was going on because he just left. He was just gone. And there was just countless mornings that we had to wake up early, and then he had to get his rough sacks and all that on the bus or the plane or whatever he had to do. So it was very rough. But once I was in my teenage years and the last in Ukraine and Kuwait, be like, oh, see you later. I'll be here, holding the house down, like he always asked me to do. So I held the house down with mom and my sister, and yeah, it was about everything.
And I have 4 kids now, and I'm going to tell you as a parent, because I don't know how it would feel as a child, because as a parent, how hard that had to have been on him. Because there's going to be things that you miss, right? You're going to miss, he missed your first steps, I'm guessing. Yeah, there's things that he missed that he can never get back. And I think, that's the side that we got to take a look at too, because you're taking away time with your family, and it not only affects the veteran, it affects the kids too, and the wife. The wife has to do both jobs now.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. It really is. Let me ask you this too, because I really want to know this. Did you see a difference in him each time he came back, in the way that he acted and stuff like that? And the reason why I'm asking you this is because, I think it's important for us to know if there's a difference, and the way you see how he handles things and deals with things and stuff like that. Could you tell that things had bothered him?
I mean, obviously, I think the only thing that bothered him was just, how he was going to get through day to day. Because, obviously, he didn't know what was going to happen every day. One day he could have been, walking around in the PX, and then the other day, the day after, just gunfire everywhere. So I think he was just constantly thinking about us. And I think every time he came back, he was just as happy as he could be. He was just very excited to see us, crying, bawling his eyes out, as any man with kids would be. And I don't think there was necessarily that changed him that I can remember. like fireworks and stuff. I don't think fireworks ever bothered him, or I mean, because like I mean, as a kid growing up, we'd always go to like fireworks shows, or we used to have guns ourselves too, and we'd go shooting. And honestly, from what I can remember, I don't think that there's anything that bothered him. I just think him being away from me and my sister is what really bothered him, and of course my mother at the time. So it was very hard for him to understand and to go through all that. But like I said, I don't think I remember anything vividly of what actually changed him.
That's really good to hear, honestly. And just to you, and I think this is important. You have one hell of a dad, and I know Matt Caluso can attest to this.
He's a little crazy, but yes, one hell of a dad.
Well, he already knows that, but
It's the same thing, carries down, so it'll make it any different.
But I want to tell you something. You've got one hell of a father. Somebody that I respect a whole hell of a lot, and it really can be shown by the people that call him in the middle of the night. Because I know on his interview, he was like, people would call me and talk to me about their problems and stuff like that. Takes one hell of a man to go through your own problems and be there for others. So I think it's important for you to know, it's always nice to hear. I'm sure you already know this, but your dad is one hell of a dad. And I can guarantee you at all times he was thinking about you through every single one of his deployments. He was thinking about you guys. But I think it's important for you to know that we all have an incredible amount of respect for him. Let me ask you this. What is one story that your dad's maybe shared with you or shared on the channel that was like, holy shit? Do you have one in mind that you can think of that kind of was like, wow? I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
I mean, the only one I can think of is recent. I think it was Mac or Longnecker and the Bulldozer or whatever. I've never heard of that story ever, and I think that was probably the most interesting one out of all.
Operation House Call. I love that day.
If nobody knows about that, that is part of that short that hit 1.3 million. That was earlier on in that day, and we had gotten shot at, and then Longnecker got the bulldozer stuck and rebar, and that day was crazy. But go ahead, Caleb. I'm sorry.
Honestly, that's the only really story I could think of at the top of my head. I mean, he didn't really. I mean, he might have said some stories, and I'm just can't think at the moment. But I mean, he said countless times that he has been shot, and windows shattering, and all the words that he said that that I probably won't say ever in my life. But yeah, like I said, the bulldozer one was probably the craziest one that I might have heard. I mean, there might be more, and I just don't remember. So I think the bulldozer one definitely, I think it's up at the top.
That day was absolutely insane. Mac, were you out there during that day?
Yeah, were. I was on the opposite side of where the short was filmed. I was on the opposite side, and we were taking rounds constantly too. And I was the only gun truck over there. So I was like, where is everybody? Where is this gunfire coming from? And then I really distinctly remember either Hellfire started flying in, or I think QRF at one point shot a couple of tank rounds inside the house, and then it quieted down for a little while, and then it started right back up.
Both happened. So kind of to give an idea of what we're sharing here. We had been getting blown up at this one spot every single time that we went down through here. And just one day we decided, I'm going to actually I have the video of the house getting blown up, but we decided to blow up the house because we knew that that's where they were sitting when they blew us up. So we're going to take out the house. Nobody was living there. Okay.
Why not? Just take it out.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, that makes perfect sense.
Could we have called JDAM in? Yeah, but we could take care of it.
I want to say they dropped. Dude, for some reason, I think that I could be wrong on that. I don't want to misspeak, but I do remember the Hellfires. I think they did drop a JDAM on down the way because more people were coming out that day and shooting at us.
Yeah.
But we strapped this building up with C4, and then all of a sudden we started taking a shit ton of fire. And I mean, it's going absolutely insane. And you guys seen the clip. That was only what, a 6-second clip of something that lasted damn near, it felt like all day.
It pretty much was. We were taking pop shots all day.
I was on top of that building, man, and it was absolutely insane. It was crazy. That's a different rush. Being outside of that truck is totally different than being inside that truck.
But I will say I did see Captain Leos. I love you, but I did see him eat ass that day. He was like right next to me when he did it. I did see that.
I really hope he's watching. I really do. No, that day was insane. We shot Hellfires into that building and the tank. Dude, I was on top of that building and they shot the round into the house and we didn't have any comms with anybody. So we had no clue that the tank was going to fire. We had no idea. All we felt was that building shift and that big boom. And me and Lowry and Longnecker looked at each other and we just froze. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah. Yeah. And then what really, going back to what I was talking about protecting people, was like everybody that was on the ground shifted because the main building was maybe about 100 yards, 80 or so yards away from where my Humvee was at. So, and then they started coming towards me, like getting away from that firefight, getting protected by the other half of the building. So I was like, shit, I got troops on the ground. That's when Sergeant Hartman moved the Humvee closer to the building where I could see the whole left side, the right side of that building. And the only thing I was worried about was one window right in front of me. And sure enough, someone popped up in that window. So.
Yeah. Man, that day was crazy. It truly was. I'm going to be sharing more and more videos. I have over 2,600 pictures and videos, and some of them I have one of your dad saying, "Come on, blow that bitch," and then all of a sudden, you see 2 Hellfires go right over his head, and he goes, "Now that was cool." That's all you heard from your dad. I'm gonna have to share that. It was really cool. I'm gonna ask you one more, Mac. How weird is it for you to sit here, do an interview, and see Caleb on here who was itty bitty when we deployed? What's that make you feel like?
Well, it makes me old as shit for one. 2, he was not even at my knees when we deployed in 2006. So it looks good. It looks just like his dad.
Santa Claus.
Well, not yet. I like that mustache though. You got to keep it going.
Yeah, I know. I got it curling a little bit.
But, oh my god.
But yeah, it's when I see him, I'm like, damn, I'm getting old, man. Shit. Because last time I seen him, he was at my knees, maybe.
It's definitely but it's cool, man. I'll be honest with you. Having you on here is really cool. And I knew your dad, but I didn't know him that well because we were in different squads. That's why I'm asking Macalusa what it feels like for him, right? My last question is for you, Caleb, right? You know, the idea of this channel was to get us all talking. It was to get those veterans that are struggling talking to each other again, because I feel like just like in a firefight, we won't fail each other. We're always there for each other. I don't care if it's 3:00 in the morning. Somebody hits that call button on that group chat. If I'm either awake or I hear it, I'm waking up and I'm answering. Right? I do not care. We've been doing this channel since August. What have you seen in your dad being able to like talk to us again, being able to share his story and watch all these guys that he deployed back almost 20 years ago tell their stories about what they went through? What are some of the things that you see in him that you can share with us? Does he enjoy it? Can you see the joy in him liking it?
Absolutely. Yes. I would say like after retirement, I mean, you know, he was a little upset. I mean, you know, obviously like he said, you know, going from, you know, being there for 5 a.m. until like 8 p.m., you know, it was a drastic change. But I will say since Longnecker, you, Tim, and then Mac, and then, you know, everybody else, I would say honestly, I don't think I've seen so much joy of the man before in my life. Like he's always shown me like, oh, look at this, like something in the group chat or some random guy that named Longnecker or Mac in a Speedo.
Hey, I can go put that on right now.
Something that he's showing me every day, like, oh, look at this, oh, look at that. I'm like, holy crap! Like it's just awesome. And I will say he does talk about it a lot. And he said how much happier he is and the joy that I could see in his face and him smiling, giggling, and laughing as I can hear him right now. But he talks a lot about, you know, enjoying it all, and then, you know, also now that I remember John saving his life as well. So I also think that's really cool to hear too, to hear another soldier or a friend or a comrade that physically saved his life, and I think that's just brilliant. And you know, I'm just lost for words of just all of this. I mean, it's exploding, and you know, with the group chats and the reels and everything, I just think it's really made him so much happier. And I just can't thank, you know, not only you, Tim, and John, and, you know, Longnecker and all the other names that I'm having a hard time remembering right now, but it's just awesome. I just can't thank all of you guys enough for the joy that you're bringing him back. He's almost like a kid in a candy store again. You know, he's always giggling and laughing and show me this, show me that. Like, oh, look at this video. Oh, look at this picture. Look who said what. So it's truly amazing of what all this is, and to be a great honor to be on here too as well.
You know, that I think just hearing that, and that I know it probably means a lot to Mac too. But that means a lot to me, because so many of these guys for so long, because I was one of them, right? Sat there in their thoughts and was like, God, I wish I had somebody to talk to about this shit. And if you guys are new here, this idea of this channel came from an 11-year-old girl. God, man, she did so much in helping me reach out to these guys and saying, I think that people would watch this and they would get a lot out of it. But hearing someone that you deployed with kids say the same thing, how much joy they get out of it, is amazing, man. It makes all this worth it. As I'm getting teary-eyed. We'll cut that out of a later video. Mac is the only one allowed crying on video.
That's it.
Listen, I want, and Mac, you know, you said something in one of a comment. You left a comment that you said this has done more in the last, I don't know, what has it been, 5-6 months, than you got in 20 years. And I think that is throughout the group, but not only throughout the group. I think we can expand that to other groups, and that's what the goal is. But seeing us happier every one of us makes it all worth it. The 1.3 million views, so that helps out a lot, because it goes into what we've been trying to do. We've been trying to expand. So, is there anything else you two want to share tonight?
No, I just want to say that Barnhill Brotherhood, Barnside Brotherhood. If anybody gets a chance, go. That's all I can say, because no matter what you're going through, just like Nick said, if being on top of that horse, it's just everything melts away. So it's definitely, I mean, just to feel the horse, touch the horse, look in his eyes, the trust, the pet a horse, it just. Dewey the donkey. Nick can tell you about Dewey, but it's great. Like what he's doing up there is awesome.
Yeah, I and Nick is getting a lot out of that, and I can see why. I've heard
Nick loves it. I can tell you that. Nick loves it.
And that means a lot to me. So when I seen your guys' pictures with these horses, I was like, you know what? And it's a veteran owned too. So when I seen that, I was like, I gotta spotlight them. So I'm glad Nick is getting something out of that. I'm glad you and Casey got to not only go down there and see Nick probably for the first time in I don't know how long. Been a while.
Yeah, it was almost 20 years. Yep.
Yeah.
He looks good. He looks better than me. So, he always has.
Don't tell his ass that. Do not listen. Do not give him no. He's lying to you, Crouch.
At least we both pull for a great college football team. So I ain't gonna say that team though.
Who's your daddy, Tim?
No. That was
college football playoffs is all I'm gonna say. I'll be watching next Saturday. Where are you guys gonna be?
I'm gonna be watching on the 29th when they play the Texas Bowl.
The hell is that? Anyway.
or the Houston Bowl or something. I don't know. It's one of them.
Yeah, we don't know what it is. Well, listen, guys, I really appreciate you both being on here. Matt,
I do have one thing.
You go right ahead, Caleb.
Sorry to interrupt, but so I was telling you were gone, but I was telling Mac earlier. So Dad, he actually has a briefcase. Somewhere in the storage, he actually has a black briefcase full of like letters and stuff that he kept from me and my sister, sending to him, and we actually did like the white postal service boxes. We would send a lot of those and rippets, snacks and stuff. But yeah, and we actually used to write like on the flaps that close it. We used to write like letters and stuff. And he actually ripped off parts of the box and kept them too. So it's in that briefcase somewhere. And then I actually looked in my closet. Here, I'll stand up. I actually have one of my old signs I wrote for him from when I was a kid. And then I have this is art right here. So this was my sister, and then that's the age, I think 1, I don't know. And then that's me right there. That's somebody's phone. I don't know. And then this is Dad because his favorite color was blue. And then this was Mom because she's crying. As you can see, it's the tears right there. So this is one of many signs. I don't know where the others are. I couldn't tell you. And then Dad found this. A shirt. I don't know if you could read it. So, yeah, we have lots of stuff that either I made or he kept or anything. But those are the two quickest things I could find. So I can't tell you. There's just a list long of the amount of stuff that we kept or he kept. And one thing I wished I had with me was when he went to Kuwait, he actually got me a special pocket knife from Kuwait, and I had it for like 2 or 3 years, and I actually lost it, like an idiot. So I can't tell you the amount of things that we have that he bought for us, or that we kept for him or anything. So there's so much stuff that we have that he kept from us or from him buying us stuff. So yeah.
That right there, and Mac, you probably agree with me. That's probably one of the coolest things that I've seen on this channel.
Yeah. And he showed it to me, and you walked away. So I knew what was coming. It's awesome. You should definitely frame that.
Yeah.
I got it.
That's and you know, seeing all these guys down through these comments right now, you're getting, that's awesome, that's amazing, stuff like that. The fact that you kept that blows my mind. That's really, really cool. By far probably the coolest thing that's been on this channel. So,
Hey, come on.
I really wish I had a date on it, but unfortunately it does not. But yeah, that's probably one of the main pieces that I have that I kept in for countless of years. And I was actually trying to flatten it, and I was worried it was going to rip because I would say that sign is probably like 12 to 14 years old. Like that sign, like I remember making that like with just like the thickest like markers like you can ever imagine. Like I would say they were just as thick as like the king size Sharpie markers. Yeah. I remember making them, and that's one of the main pieces I have.
That's cool. Yeah, I wish somebody would have told me that was coming. That caught me off guard there for a second. Yeah, Mac, you did that on purpose. I know you did. You didn't say anything, damn it.
Why am I getting blamed for this?
You always get blamed. Love you, brother. Listen, thank you both for being on here. And Lion knew it was coming too. I know he did. He didn't warn me or anything. Could have shot me a text message or something. But listen, thank you both for coming on here. Mac, it's always fun when you're on here, man. You're always one of the ones. You need somebody, I'm there for you. Caleb, dude, yeah, thank you so much. Not only for wearing the hoodie. If anybody sees that hoodie, right? I hope the Heroes is spelled right on it. But listen, thank you so much for being on here and sharing your side of it, because I think that gets lost a lot of the times because people are talking about the veterans and stuff like that, and so often we don't talk enough about the family behind them. So I appreciate you both for being here. Love you both. Hope you guys have a great night. Thanks for all the support you guys are giving the channel. Thanks for being on here today.
Go Tigers.
I should have muted you. Let me get these guys muted here. You know, that first of all, that damn near brought me to tears once I seen that sign. I don't know about anybody else. You know, a lot of the times, and I said this, we do not understand what people are at home are thinking. We don't understand the toll it takes on them and the way it shapes them in their lives. Believe it or not, when you're deployed, we were in Iraq, and I know multiple people have been to Afghanistan, Ukraine, Iraq, all over the place, Vietnam, things like that. When you're with your brothers, you're having the time of your life. I'll be honest with you. I had the time of my life being in Iraq. But I think oftentimes we don't understand what it does to the family members back home because they have no clue what we're doing. So that anxiety kicks in and stuff like that. And as a little kid, seeing your dad leave for a year at a time, multiple times, has to be tough. Having Caleb on tonight was something that I hope you guys enjoyed. But that's what, and Mac is always fun to have on here because if you guys didn't know Mac, for those of you who don't know Mac, he deployed with me. But not only that, Mac was one of the first responders, one of the first ones on scene last year on New Year's Eve when the terrorist attack took place in New Orleans. To say that I am proud of that man is an understatement. I love that guy to death. And anytime I ask him, hey, can you be on the show? It's always yes. Him and his wife both. But that's what this channel is about. So if you are new here, this is what we do every Sunday night. It's done a lot of good for us. If you want to share your story, you can reach out through the Facebook page, Operation Intel Veteran Stories. You can email if you'd like to be on the show. If that's your thing, you want to email Operation Intel VS Victor Sierra at gmail.com. We'll ask a couple questions. I'm going to give a couple guys the rights to go ahead and go through that. And vet some of them because we all know stolen valor and shit. So we will vet you first. Unfortunately, we have to do that. But we want to make something special here. We want to give you guys the opportunity to be a part of something bigger, something that's healing. Our whole goal is to end the 22 a day. It's too many. One is too many. This channel is about helping that. And if you support us, share the channel with a veteran that you think it might help. You can sit back and watch these videos. You can sit back and watch the rally point. You don't have to talk. That's okay. We love you guys. We're here for you. If you ever need anything, there are multiple people that you can talk to. We have made a community out of this, and I hope it goes far. Seeing the views on some of these shorts is amazing. And I don't mean amazing by the normal influencer type stuff that you hear. When I seen the views going up, these guys can attest to it. I have said every single time, I hope that this channel gets big because I believe our stories need to be told. I believe that your story needs to be told. And I believe if we lean on each other like we did in these deployments, we can lower that number of 22 a day. We can help each other. Whether that being late night phone calls, there's multiple people that can do that. Whether that's everyday talking to people, it heals. You might look at some of these videos and some of these interviews as success stories if you watch the videos and the interviews on YouTube. These aren't success stories. These are people that have struggled. These are guys and women that have struggled. But they came on to help and spread the word and share their stories. So it takes a strong person to share their story. I'm going to get off of here, guys. I hope you guys, to the new viewers, I want to thank you guys for liking the video, sharing the videos. We do this every single week. I usually will do a trailer on Tuesday of a new interview. And the full video comes out on Thursday. Make sure you tune into that full video on YouTube. If you have not subscribed on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube as well. Operation Intel Veteran Stories. Help us in the 22 a day. With that being said, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. I really hope you guys got something out of tonight's show. I love every single one of you, even if I don't know you. Actually, I'm gonna read some of these comments down here. If you guys like the show and you are new here, I don't want to hear from people like Hartman. Your son, I'm just kidding, Hartman. John Bradley, thank you. I really appreciate it. We owe you all. Vicky Lyon, we owe you all. Thank you for looking out for each other while you served. Mikey, I'm sorry, buddy. I forgot to message you before I started tonight. Listen, make sure you share the videos. It gets this out to more veterans. We're trying to make a difference here. I hope you guys have a great week. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Christmas, by the way. We're not going to do another live show until next Sunday night. So I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. Everybody enjoys their family. And until next Sunday night, I love you guys.